Devorah, tell us a little about how you got to be what you got to do and how you became so well known in the world of singing. You lead concerts all over the world. You sing for thousands of people, big audiences as well as little. Tell us a little how you got there.
Okay, so there's a long version and there's a short version.
We'll
We'll
take whatever
start
you
with the
give.
sh we'll start with the short version, and then if you want me to elaborate on any part, I
Sure.
will. The short version is I just worked really hard
Mm,
in every single thing that I did. Um, Not really waiting for opportunities, but figuring out the funding, even borrowing money at point, and just to put stuff out there and really not wait for opportunities to come, but just to make my own opportunities. And I just really, really hustled.
hmm.
Um,
Well,
the longer version,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, like, I guess that's we'll get into that part, like how you actually
Yeah.
did that. But did you always
Yeah.
know that you were going to be a singer? Did you always think that you were going to be a singer? Is this a
No,
childhood dream?
you know what? Like lately I've been thinking that it secretly was a childhood dream. Like
Mm,
I like secretly love to sing, but it wasn't considered like a talent of mine. I come from a very musical family, and from my mother's side specifically, where her grandfather was a chazan and was like a comedian and was
mm.
the Rav, and he was all the things in Israel and in Netanya. And my mother remembers him swallowing and gargling with egg yolks and doing all his warm ups in the morning. And like he used to do bar mitzvah lessons. And my mother was born like just so musical. And my mother would go there to Israel in the summers. And when the boys just weren't getting it, he would like say, "Come, come." He would like bring his granddaughter over and like, "Can you do it?" And she just did it in a second. This little
Wow.
like 4-year old. She's like, "Okay." He's like, "Okay, it's not me, you know?" So my mother like really shone on stage, especially as a dancer, always was choreographing and dancing, and yeah, she also sang.
Hmm.
So as much as like we all grew up singing, dancing was like a big thing in our family, choreographing, creating. And I also was the only artist in the family, like portrait art.
Mm,
So my mother like jumped on that to give me lessons. So singing wasn't something that I was known for. I was obsessed with all the female Orthodox artists. There weren't many. There was Kinneret and Malki Giniger. They used to do big concerts for like 2,000 people in Brooklyn College on Holomoid, like twice a year by Sukkot and Pesach. And I would go with my mother, and I would just sit there with like my mouth open. So
mm.
it wasn't something I ever in my wildest dreams thought that I would be on the other side singing. I
Wow.
consider myself naturally more shy. I definitely grew into myself over the
Interesting.
years, but I was very reserved. So,
Well, it's
yeah.
interesting because a couple weeks ago I did Avram Fried, and he says he's this big introvert, and of course he's a Jewish pop star, singer from way back, and so he says he thinks that most performers or people who are in the arts, a lot of them are introverts. So that's an interesting,
Yeah, I
interesting.
don't know if I would say I'm an introvert because I'm married to an introvert
Mm.
and he's really an introvert.
Right.
um, he could just like sit and read books and be and just self-entertain. Like I'm not really like that. I really get energy from being with people and
People,
being with crowds.
right?
So, but I'm faster just like to listen to like the center
Mhm.
of someone who else is the center of attention and just like be there listening than me being the center
The
of
center,
attention.
interesting.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm not usually like taking over the conversation,
Right.
but I learned to do that because
When you get on
people
stage,
look to
you have to,
me.
yes.
Yeah, and even just meeting fans,
Mhm.
they it's really important to give everyone the time of day, and
Mhm.
they know me even if I don't know them. So I've learned that it feels rude to people
Mhm.
to treat like if you don't know a stranger and they don't know you, then you're not really very friendly.
Right.
But if someone really knows you, even though you don't know them, it's like sort of like you owe it to people to be super friendly to them. Like, thank you for being my fans. Thank you for listening to my music. So I've learned to just talk a lot.